In this video, we're going to talk about financing or funding your business acquisition, your startup, your business in a box. We've already talked about the need for funding the lead pipeline or the ads system. So as we discuss the investment needed for our Built For You business, it's important to emphasize that many of our partners successfully use financing options to, number one, get started, and number two, accelerate, because the fuel that drives this vehicle is the funding of the ads. Now, one of the companies we have partnered with is a firm, which you've probably seen on some prominent brands. They're all over the internet as far as pay now, buy now, pay later kind of framework. And what they do is they provide flexible financing options. Typically, it lands on being about $500 a month over 3 years for those with good credit. And we don't hold the leverage in place for 3 years. We hold the leverage in place for a couple months, and then we pay off the leverage. So you get access to capital for a very low cost, which again, you're using that capital to leverage into a business, which that business then will make you even more capital. It's what smart, wealthy, savvy people do. Importantly, you only need to manage those payments personally for just a handful of months. Our goal is 45 days publicly. Internally, we want our members to hit that first client within 30 days. What that means then is within this time frame, you're now collecting revenue. Your business is producing a harvest. Now, we call that our first client guarantee. Follow me here. After your first client, we expect your business earnings, the money from that client, to cover those $500 or so in monthly payments, making the investment self-sustaining. Then as soon as the business produces harvest, you just simply pay off that loan. And we talked about many times it's low or no interest. If you were getting started, let's just say, pull a number out of the air, 10 grand, and you have decent credit, that payment might only be $300 a month. The doctor we just enrolled, he had a payment of $250 a month and his payment wasn't due for 30 days. So imagine that scenario. So let's say that your payment was $300 and it wasn't due for 30 days. That means that you'd only have to make that payment for a couple months, right? Month one, no payment. The payment kicks in at the end of the 30 days. So that's your second month. Your third month, that's your second payment. You see what I'm saying? So with leverage, we're not talking about a massive risk or load on a business or a family. Then once your first client started paying you $500 or $1,000 a month, that payment of $500 is more than that payment of $300. That leverage is now covered. It's funded. The business is now self-sufficient, self-sustaining, self-funding, which is a magical place to be. And it takes most businesses 6 to 12 months to get there, not us. Right? We're kingdom people. Very important. This is critical. Even if you had 10 grand, and we got people all the time that say, hey, I got the cash. And that's why we have to go through this training and education with them, because we don't want their cash. Even if you had the 10K and you wanted to pay the 10K, we would advise against it. Cash is king. I'd rather you keep that in your pocket and have maybe you take a couple grand of that and you fund the lead generation system so you can scale faster. Again, smart people use leverage. Just be smart and do what they do. Model smartness. Okay? So hopefully you can see why the savvy Christians use leverage in other people's money. So what I'd like to do is invite you to see what you actually qualify for. Now, just to be clear, there's no obligation, there's no hit on your credit, you're not borrowing any money, you're not committing to any money, you're just checking on your leverage capacity. I got the proof to show it. Over 300 video testimonials, as I told you, of clients, verified members. We got other people saying dumb stuff, we got competitors trying to rip us, tear us down. None of that stuff matters because our members are getting great results and they're happy and they're willing to share it without any incentive. They just are happy to be a blessing.